Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is Raventhorn, and tonight we are with Kazarak the One-Eye and the start of another how-to guide for new players for the Beastmen. This is actually requested by Venerus of Venerus SFO. The Grimhammer mod that I use all the time, he requested this on my other playthrough. If you like the content, please do like and subscribe. It does let me know how I'm doing, and I'm just working my way up to that 100 subscribers, 50 subscribers, just keeping that positive train going up. Um, any comments you have below? If you have like the next campaign faction you want me to look at for the how-to guide, hit me up. No problem. Full disclosure, I won't be doing Wood Elves until the next patch comes out for Venerus. He's working hard on that. If you like to see the updates and things like that, do look at joining the public Discord for SFO, the mod. The description and the link to it is down below here as well too. And yeah, let's get started. Alright, so this is going to be a very brief introduction, kind of how we did with the Empire, the first playthrough, how-to guide sort of thing, and we're going to kind of tell you about the faction, how you can use it, how to effectively move around and not just die off in the first few turns, and how to set yourself up the way to success. So, go ahead and sit back and enjoy as we play the Beastmen and Kazarak. So, really quick, Beastmen work on a horde mentality, where you have different hordes that will travel around with you. Usually as Beastmen you start off with 2. It's your choice, as you might see a couple tendencies if you watch my Malagor playthrough from a whole campaign, is that I don't really like his start position with 2 different armies, but with Kazarak we might just play it as a different way. You can see here we have a Toboro down there below. We might just send this Lord right here down here. So this will be a little battle. It's very small unit size, but I like to show small unit sizes and then larger battles at kind of like the same point, because there's very different tactics that you can use. As you've seen with the play guides, there is so many different factions and so many specialties. The biggest thing here is, as you can see here, all of our units are actually hidden because they have the stock ability, and they have Vanguard deployment, so you can get right up in people's faces right from the start. That's very useful in the beginning because you want to move around, get flanking with certain units. One thing you need to pay attention to is that while Ungors are about as strong as humans, they cannot, they don't have the same staying power as humans, because again, they are Beastmen and they don't have the armor and such. You can see here that their armor is 18, so you have to pay attention to that. You have a trade-off, and you have to learn how to use that. And so you're going to have archers take that forefront there. You do have a lord, so that's going to really help you out. The problem is that you just have these regular spearmen with no shield, so that's going to hurt. We might actually have that guy go there. Remember spacing from my first video? This is what I mean. See that? We just avoid this whole entire scrum melee right there, and now we can get back here. I should put skirmish mode on, remember? Gotta remember, keep using your brain. And let's just distract these units here. And so I'm going to explain a little bit about the skirmish mode and how it can be used against you. Is that you can't tell them to do anything on skirmish mode because they're being engaged, so you're going to have to take them off skirmish mode, give them an order. Let's get these guys over here, turn around, charge them so they don't get so caught up. Alright, so now you see how our archer units can now distract an enemy unit and then use that disengage option just to keep ahead of them while your other range unit keeps peppering them with fire. And we just check on back here. Not too much you can do when you have even units. You can see our spearmen here are kind of getting broke up. They're just outside of our range, so you can see the difference. We actually might not be doing too good here. We need to help out our melee units with some archer fire into the back. Yeah, that's taking him down. And it doesn't seem like it would be true, but the direction of your shields, I mean, it is a video game, right? But the direction of where a unit's shields are decides on what their damaging factor can be. So, and what I mean by that is just like, okay, see these guys, their shields are up front? Well, if I was to shoot them with this unit, you wouldn't have as much damage going through as these guys. They had their backs turned to them, so they're taking that extra damage. So we're just going to keep on moving, keep on moving. We're actually going to have to kind of divert these archers as much as we'd like to get them going. Yeah, go after those spearmen. That would really be helpful. Let's fire some point blank into them. That's going to hurt their morale. And let's go ahead and do a charge into them. Our Lord's not doing too hot. You want to try and give your units a little bit of a break before just immediately charging back in once they've broken, because they're tired. They're, you know, they've had those tactics come into them of where they're breaking. Oh boy, keep running. If we can get this clump right here broken, we can go back over here and help our Lord. Let's get that triggered there. So what that is that map wide, you get 10 plus 10% leadership and 10% vigor. So that means that our units will be able to run a little bit more longer without being so tired out. And their leadership's going to come back up. So that's that gray bar. You have to really pay attention. See how these units, their gray bar went down and their morale is broken. So pay attention to that bar. That's extremely important. More so than the red bar, because that red bar is only just how many units are left over. And while that's a big factor in morale, flanking, running around, not getting a break, that all affects morale, just like a real battle would happen. So that's why it's really important not to rely on garrisons without a lord or something like that. My recommendation is when you have a battle that's coming up your garrison doesn't have a lord or a thing like that, unless you outnumber the enemy, which you probably won't, it's just not good to try and fight it. Yeah, you wanted to deliver as much damage as possible, but I wouldn't want you to waste your time and energy on something that probably is not going to be a good battle. So it's completely up to you and your playstyle if you want to fight every battle or if you just want to auto-resolve that. Even though it's a loss, that sucks. Believe me, I understand it sucks. But morale is such a huge thing that those heroes and those lords that are leading that garrison, that morale booster, really important. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to have a few minutes of this first start. You'll see a couple turns go by. I'm going to concentrate on showcasing, okay, you saw some small unit tactics. What I'm going to do is teach you a little bit about the actual Horde buildings and how your factions works with the Beastmen, and then I will kind of skip ahead in time and then show you more of a large scale battle, things like that, that you can really kind of dig into the Beastmen. Anyways, with the Beastmen, you have a couple different options. When you sack a town, you don't really take over a town. While you can occupy it, what that just means is that um, if you know that it won't be attacked, then it's a decent option. But it's such an important thing to get your money that looting and raisings, this Dark Devotion, which is a special unit of currency that you can use to buy other units or items, which I will show you here in 2 seconds, or growth, which is a really good thing, which is decent, and we have okay money, but we might as well loot and raise. And then you can see here that dough. Uh, when you have the little lords doing this, unless they are certain evil factions, such as Skaven, such as Dark Elves, where they have a loyalty rating, don't take away their items. They don't get happy with that. But we want Kazarak, who is your main lord, to do really, really well. So the horde growth is going to be very important to him. All right, so this guy, he's done. He's looted and raised, and he's destroyed and everything, so he's done. So he can just stand there. But with Kazarak, well, we can't take that capital city. That plus their army. We want their army to come out and maybe fight us or something like that. So we will come out to about, let's do about 52%. So that'll be enough that we could do any of these paths here. And we will do this hidden encampment, because what I'm going to show you now is your horde building panel. Horde buildings is very dependent on your population surplus, because every single building that you build has a cost and a population surplus cost. And so for the first few buildings that you're going to concentrate on, you're not necessarily going to get unit recruitment ones. You're going to want to look at this building line, which is support, to possibly get your horde growth up, and these extra little bits and pieces that can help flavor your army and your play style. So one thing I want to point out, this tribal call. This is a thing that Venner's put in there to detract from just building up a huge army of Gors or Minotaurs, which is a huge unit. Well, you need to have the Beastmen. The Beastmen are a very loose organization of beasts that come together under a strong war leader, and so he's trying to reflect this tribal call, which is the resource of your herds, how strong your bonds are, and how many other small little encampments are coming to support the great war herd. So that's a little bit too much lore and flavor for you. That's not my fault. I'm sorry. I love Beastmen. They are my second tabletop race I picked up. And if you'd enjoyed this series, check out my playthrough of Malagor, the Dark Omen. He's a hero that's not really shown or played through a lot, in my opinion, and he's absolutely just fun to play with because you get to play with the Beastman magic. So, next we're going to have Bestial Sacrifices. This is that Dark Devotion thing we were talking about just a minute ago. You can spend your Dark Devotion to get certain extra little bits, herd stones, special units, bonds, ascensions. All these are nice little upgrades where you can. It flavors the Beastman so much, because if you play vanilla gameplay without the SFO mod, you will not see that for the Beastman. It is boring as heck. Make Horde, go destroy. With this, you get to make Horde, flavor Horde, then destroy. So we will look at you can definitely dig into more of this with their technology tree. I like getting their casualty replenishment rate up, because you take so many casualties because you are unarmored. So you want to be able to keep on chugging and keep on getting your army back to full health so you can keep moving, because you're not a stationary army. You are not like playing the Empire like we saw just last time where you're building a united province. No, you have to keep moving, keep desecrating, raising up your strength, and that's how you're going to succeed with the Beastmen. So I'm going to pause this here, and we're going to push on through, and I will see you here in a second. Welcome back. So I want to point out a couple little things. We've been playing for not very many turns, but what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and use our extra army as a bait tactic. Definitely can use this where you have one army a little bit weaker, and you have Kazarak here, a little bit stronger army, not even that big, but it is stronger, and he's going to be in hidden stance. Now, other factions can have an ambush stance, which actually would work out much, much better. But if they will just come out, that would be okay. I'm actually going to work these guys back just a hair, just on the edge of that red ring. This is important because this is your area of influence or your army's range. So this is an area that dictates how far you can get reinforcements from. So if I sit here in my hidden encampment again, if I click on their army, you can then hover over your army here. If I click on, if I just hover over, you see that yellow line that appears between these two? That means they're in reinforcement range. So we'll click the in turn and see if this works. Yeah, and so we can see here, this will be the little bit that larger battle I was telling you about. We'll be able to play this really well, show you some tactics versus, just a larger battle, and go from there. See some, nicer units like the Borgor Bloodthirst, which is our Minotaur hero, and then some just plain Minotaurs, things like that. Use the terrain to your advantage. That's really what I can say here, is you're going to have to know how to use the terrain. Trees are going to block missile fire, so that's an important thing to grab, as well as high ground for your melee units. If your melee units are on a hill, they actually get kind of like a hidden modifier that it's just easier to fight someone who is has less reach than you.
Chaos! Akaska! Beastmen!
You get our Lord in here.
Ango! Pass! Kashaish! Ba! Farguldat! Kasla! Angles!
Pistoliers will be annoying.
Beastmen! Soyuz Ark!
Kind of waiting for our reinforcements here. Oh man, I did not plan this out well, did I? Do a nice little diversionary force. Yeah, we're kind of losing here in this battle. They outnumber us too much. I actually thought I was much closer to my reinforcements.
Angles.
I should have been over on the left instead of the right.
Kala. Full control. Pass. Forward cool. The dark beasts. Feed quill. Cloven ones.
It's okay. We're still going.
No.
Kind of losing here on the right flank, but our left flank now is getting reinforcements going in here. We can run down these archers. That would be a really good thing.
Xidax. Varu. Ba. Kagum.
See, our Minotaurs, you're not, again, I was telling you about those Ungors. Well, this is what I mean.
Fast.
Gotta use speed, you have to use flanking. That's the only way that you're going to defeat these armored Empire soldiers, catching them at your advantage, essentially.
Angles. Fagudat. Fast. Full cruiser.
And I've forgotten that unit. Be careful with your Minotaurs, they will take extra damage from the Spearmen.
Angles. Kala. Fagudat.
And just use your greater speed with your base infantry to your advantage. That's the only way you can do it. You're kind of like very like small-time cavalry. And what I mean by that is that normal infantry units you wouldn't send them to run down other infantry units or things like that. And it's okay if your units retreat. You know, they're just in a bad situation. Actually, okay, so now we want to send our Minotaurs out there, but we're going to actually need our Lord. Take out this guy. That's a Lord hero, and he will kind of wreck us. But we can go up to here. Oh, that's another general. So we might just have Kazarak go that way. And we'll use this guy's ability to do that. We saw that last time. And then go ahead, keep on moving, keep on moving. Let's actually get a nice flank over here. We got these units over here too, so come on back. We got our Minotaur going to town on their puny little manling. Need to get them over to reinforce. Got that guy going. Let's go help out the swordsman. Get these guys going here. Them going there. They got a couple of units coming back. But it's okay. We are going to just run down these humans. No problem. I didn't pay attention. Go help out these guys here. We got some archers. We can definitely help out. And your Ungard archers are actually pretty decent in melee. They're going to beat out other archers in melee. They're not going to beat out swordsmen. But yeah, so that's kind of how you have to play with Beastmen, is their speed. Speed is key, as Jacksepticeye always says. But that's the big thing, is you are not going to defeat them in a straight up line battle. You're going to have to move and use your greater speed to get in there. You know, we start all the way across here on the other side of the map, but our army was able to get over here and just hold out just long enough for us to claim the victory. Right, so now to explain a little bit about when you defeat an army in the field, you're going to have three options. kind of like every army has. We saw that a little bit in the Empire. I can devour the captives, kill the captives, or sacrifice captives. What that means is the Bestial Rage. Really important for the Beastmen. Bestial Rage is, if you fill this bar up, you will actually get a second army following your main army. And you can tell them to go do other things if you want. You know, you're like, hey, just go do stuff. But you don't get to really control them. They're like AI or reinforcements, but it's like a second army that you're not paying for. So, but you have to basically inspire the herds to follow you. And if you get it too low, you actually start taking attrition because they're starting to infight. So, not necessarily the best thing to do. We don't really need that extra 1,000 when we got, 2,000, I think, from that battle. So the really important thing is going to be either the kill the captives, which for 5 turns you get plus 8% weapon strength, would be nice, or devour captives, which units replenished by 4%, and dark devotion generated plus 5 per turn, which it doesn't look like we're actually going to get very many reinforcements back from this, so we're going to just kill the captives. So why we did this is you can see how they have the 3 forces, technically, garrison and their 2 armies. So now, without them being in their city, we have a chance at actually fighting this battle, because Beastmen, unless you have a lot of Minotaurs or giants or things like that that can take down a wall, you're not going to do too well. The towers will shoot you up, things like that. So we're going to focus on trying to pick apart their armies on the outside. I'm going to stop this here, and we'll continue on for maybe a couple more turns to just kind of show a desecrated Estalia, maybe work our ways up to Bretonnia just to showcase something else. So, see you in the next. Alright, welcome back. So we are actually doing a small siege battle. We have our reinforcements coming in. Why I'm doing this is to kind of showcase different ways of doing a siege when maybe you don't have enough time. Like my army right now, we are running out of money, so I can't stand to do a siege for a time. I still have a pretty good chance. My armies are pretty good, and it's not a very large garrison per se. Their leading general does not have a large army, but the garrison's actually pretty sizable. So we definitely need these reinforcements coming in, and I'm going to kind of showcase a small little tactic that you can do, especially when you have these hidden advanced guard units here, which is just going to kind of help us stay alive. So, without further ado, let me just get these units all sorted out. A couple new units that I recruited as Razor Gore Horde.
Cloven ones.
Let's see if Spearman, okay, so we can actually get going up there, and we can get our secondary army up. Yeah, we're just getting shot up. Okay, really watch out for these towers. They're very, very strong. And so your main tactic really is going to be move, 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 move. As I said before, use your speed to your advantage and just try to overwhelm the defenders. Ow.
Zeus.
And hopefully we can get this gate down. All units can do damage to the gate. Just some units are much better at that, such as our Minotaurs and our Minotaur Lord. So we're actually, let's pull out the Razor Gores out of their way. That might be distracting them.
Thou canst action. Angles. Fios size.
And so what we were able to do here is that we were able to get in and get our units. This is why I was putting them over to the side, is that they were able to come in and get on the walls without the defenders really knowing where they're at. What sucks is that they have a lot of archers, so they're able to just sit there and shoot us pretty easily. We just need to keep on headed up. Okay, we got that gate. Alright, so it's going down a lot quicker without those Razor Gores getting in the way there. Run. Let's actually get these peasants out of our way.
Cloven ones.
And all we can really do at this second is just wait, trying and fight our way through the Bretonnian peasants. Our boars are just getting shot up. Can't really do much with that. Let's try and thin out their lines so it's not so much. Is the gate down, or did they just open the gate for us? They just opened the gate. Sometimes the AI cheats. AI cheats! But our Minotaurs are able to kind of just do whatever they want. Those peasants won't really cause much of a problem. Just kind of go through. Peasants, not going to be an issue. So we're going to win this left flank out really quickly. And we can kind of focus on, well, if we could just get that stupid gate. I mean, it's smart of the AI, but very annoying too. So let's get our archers over here. Remember we said that they could fight off other archers? Well, we're going to have them do that. And we need to get Kazarak in there to take out that paladin, because that Lord will hero unit will hurt us. We kind of need get them down there, and need these units down there. Just gotta watch out for the Bretonnian Knights. Those will hurt. Yeah, those peasant mobs, those are trash units. So far doing okay. Pulling units away from that wall. If I could just get up. Alright. Man, if I could just get through the gate, we wouldn't be doing... This is why you want siege equipment. To be able to get past and stuff, but we're going to fight our way through. Ow. Let's see. Duration 30 seconds, so...
Angos! Kagum! Naruto Shaish!
Alright, so Beastman Roar is still going active right now.
Angos! Quo! Da! Da! Da!
Come on. Don't tell. Nope, the gates are still down.
Shaish!
I mean, I know I could be like pulling out the entire unit to go around to the left because we own that gate, but in all honesty, that won't do us any good simply to the fact that it would take so long to get over there, we might as well just fight our way over here. If I could just take the courtyard, then we'd be fine, which we now own the courtyard, so now we can send in the pigs.
Caucasian! Ghouls! Ugh! Yaksai! Akash! Look of! Faguldam! Kozrak! Feosais! Quilak!
So, Empire units will do well. Bretonnians will not. The way that the Bretonnians will kill you is their cavalry. And you pretty much have to just overwhelm them.
Uncles! Kozrak!
Get that going again. And now comes the herding. Those knights will just plow through, but if we can just mop them in, tie them up so they can't be charging in and out, then we will actually do decently. And there you go. So that is how you play Beastmen with sieges and 0 siege equipment. Does it make it easier? Yes. Do you need it? As long as the AI don't cheat with those gates. It's really smart. But I hate it. So there you have it. What I would say is definitely give the Beastmen a chance. Play it out. They are so much fun. They're very different than any other faction that's out there just because they are a horde. They're a true horde. Yes, Chaos are a horde too, but who cares? Beastmen, it's where it's at. You can definitely play. They have 3 different lords. They're tons of fun. So many monstrous units. Very diversified. But you have to know how to use their advantages well, which is their speed, their strength. They will not do a stand-up fight. It just won't happen. It's just not in their cards. But you have to learn how to adapt. Will I say that this is a newcomers, a true newcomers faction? No. I would say it would be better off to play, if you're first faction ever play, definitely play a different faction just to get into the game. But if you're looking for something different to have fun with, this is the faction to do it. And I hope this guide was able to help you out. So if you like the content, please hit that like and subscribe button. Subscription's such an important thing. Trying to get that 50 goal, trying to get that 100 goal, like I said, staying positive. And I hope you guys enjoyed the content, the game. And Well, I'll be making some more how-to guides in the future, so keep a lookout. And if you want, go ahead and hit the either of these two playlists. It'll definitely help you out. And don't forget, you can actually watch a whole campaign of Beastmen with my Malgor, the Dark Omen Let's Play. So, until next time, see you later.